This episode of the Conscious Salon podcast is brought to you by Revlon Professional Australia.
As a salon owner, your business needs more structure, but you don't have time to create it because you're too busy keeping the business running. So we did it for you. The Conscious Structure is our 2-week back-end install that takes your salon out of your head and puts it into a clear digital system that your team can actually follow. Right now, your team are constantly tapping you on the shoulder. Where's the stock order? How do I do a refund? What do I say to this client? Who's meant to clean this? And your systems are basically vibes. Your notes app, a few screenshots, and a half-written Google Doc. Stuff that you meant to finish when you had the time. Sound familiar? This is why we built the Conscious Structure. In this course, shoulder taps become a thing of the past because your team know exactly where to find the answer. You go from being reactive and constantly needed to calm, organised and scalable with a business that runs like a well-oiled machine. If you want structure but you don't have the time to create it, we've got you. The Conscious Structure is where you start. Welcome back to another episode of the Conscious Salon podcast.
This one is going to be a fun one. I actually brought this to Nikki. I said, we went through our notes and we were like, all right, what are we going to do for our episodes when we came in? And I was like, let's do something. Let's do ins and outs. And actually, first you were like, no, everyone does ins and outs.
I was like, no, we're not doing ins and outs. But
then I said, let's do ins and outs separately, so not together. I'm going to do all ins and you're going to do all outs.
And we don't know what each other said yet.
No.
So
This will be interesting.
hopefully we don't have like
imagine
thing like opposing advice. Yeah. That would not be good.
Exactly.
So obviously we don't need too much of an intro, just the ins and outs, the things that we want you guys to leave behind in 2026 and the things that we want you to call forward in 2026.
Exactly.
The salon owners or just people in general, really. Actually, no salon owners. It's really
it was very specific to salon owners,
cool.
yeah. But like you do your own for your own industries and that will work great as well.
Tess, what's your first in?
My first in for 2026, all meetings to be done during paid work time. And extension of that, scheduled in for the entire year, treated like a client, not moved and to be respected.
Obsessed with this.
That's
Why did
my
you put that
biggest in? So this is something I actually was thinking when I was creating the ins, what are the things that we get the most feedback on? So things of like, and that's one of the biggest ones. Do you pay your team like for your meetings? How do you get them to come in outside of their work hours, et cetera, et cetera? This is truly how we've done it. We've scheduled our entire appointment book around our meetings that we need to have in place. If we have the meetings in place, we have the structure. If we have the structure, we have consistency, high performing, self-led, all of the things that we want. For us, if our team have got that happening during their work time and not outside of that, they're going to show up and really make sure they're giving it 100%. Okay. And I say this because I actually worked for 8 years in a company that didn't do that, and we would just have to come in half an hour beforehand to have a meeting just whenever it was called. And it was just not it. So that's why I was really passionate about it. It comes from a bit of a first-hand lived experience that I've had.
Just want to show you $6,240 at minimum that you would be owed in paid work time.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to, 20 years later, be like, all right, yeah, I'm ready for that.
No, but I just think it's just
crazy
a matter of time
that.
before it bites you on the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, I want my time respected. So the same thing, I want my team's time respected. You respect it by paying them for showing up and being there and for doing it. But put it in their work time. I feel
like it's one of the
everyone.
very few industries that this is an expectation in and it's so common. So common.
So it's my first in. All meetings done during paid work time.
I love. My first out. Or do you want to do all the ins and then all the outs?
Whatever you think.
Let's go all the ins.
All right, great.
Yeah.
Second one is conscious leadership.
So can we just pump the conscious meetings course as well? If you don't know what meetings to have that you're going to be paying your team for, go and do our conscious meetings course.
We've got it all
literally
there.
shows you the blueprint of every single meeting. It's such a good course.
It's a great course.
I love the course. It's amazing and it shows you the format to all 5 of our meetings. It's like self-paced, so you can literally just purchase it and get full access today and have lifetime access.
There we go.
You don't need to wait for a container to open.
That's right. Everything in there that you need. My second in, conscious leadership. Conscious leadership. So I'm not talking about becoming a conscious leader, although you definitely should. I'm talking about really being intentional about how you're showing up, having clear and conscious conversations with people that are affected, not trauma bonding with other team members about specific problems, not dumping on your partner and family at home, not piling on in a salon, not creating drama, no more passivity, no more avoidance. I'm talking about when something happens and you see it, not turning a blind eye or hoping that someone else will go and do it for you. Having those conscious conversations or courageous conversations, whatever you want to say, challenging conversations, but actually making the choice of not being passive or ignoring or avoiding and going, no, I'm going to do this head on. I'm going to have a conversation that I need to have. Because I feel like so often one of the biggest things that we see play out when we're meeting with teams and with salon owners, we hear about this passivity that can happen or this like great unspoken or this avoidance that plays out of issues happening, sometimes issues happening within a salon that the entire salon knows about, bar the person that it's actually about.
Yeah.
And this is where we can start really removing the toxicity.
Or the husband who's never owned a business or stepped one day, like not a step into a salon before, never owned a salon, never been in our industry, but will go home and get the husband's advice.
Yeah. This is the thing. This is where and this is, I think, one of the biggest game changers for us because Nikki and I, you know, we've done episodes on this before. I was a reactive leader. You were passive and then avoidant, I think. Wasn't that right?
I was everything. Yeah. I think passive, I would just talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rile me up and then I'd go in and like get all reactive and
headbutt someone. Yeah.
That's right. And this is the thing. If you want things to change, you have to change what you're doing. So for things to level up and to be the way that you want it to be, you need to be so conscious about how you're going to be leading, how you're going to be showing up, how you're going to be directing your team. Stop having conversations with everyone else other than the person that it needs to involve. Go and talk directly to them. Don't go home and take it to your husband. Don't go home and take it to the family. Don't do any of those things. Take it to the individual. When we start having those conversations, watch everything change.
Love.
Third in, debriefing your numbers with your team every single week.
Good one.
Good, bad, or in between. Your team need to be aware of what you're working towards. What's going well, where we need to improve. No more gatekeeping. I think this is so important.
I feel like numbers, you need to focus on being horny for numbers if you're a salon owner in 2026.
Yeah.
If you don't feel like you know your numbers, you need to really get to know your numbers.
100%. And I think this is the thing. The reality is, for those that are gatekeeping, your team can work it out. Like, we've all got a calculator and we've all got the price list available to us. So if you're worried about your team knowing what money's going through the salon or how much each week you're making, share this with them. Be open about it. Set a goal that you want to achieve. Hey, guys, we've predicted to make this much this week. I'd love to set a goal of this. Let's hit services here, retail here, rebooking here. The more that you debrief and the more you openly communicate this and have this from a really positive place. Again, with a freaking cough, I'm so sorry. When we have this from a positive place, this is when your team can get really excited about what they're doing. They're really clear on the direction that they're going on. People aren't sitting there wondering what they should be focusing on. So if you're wanting a 85% rebooking rate, debrief that. Get really clear on that. Setting those like truly debriefing numbers is such a game changer. And if you start debriefing numbers, also start sharing your break even because that will really take it to the next level as well.
Good tip.
Number 4 in, having one-on-ones with your team individually. This is essential for growth, for connection, for safety, for high performance, for being self-led. I've written a whole list of this, for being self-led, for knowing where your team is needing support. If you are wanting to have a team that is self-led, high-performing, and you feel deeply connected to, you have to have one-on-ones with your team. I'm talking 60 minutes once a month and book that out and respect it the way that you do for a client. That time will be one of the most valuable investments that you make as a business owner. Truly, truly, truly get really intentional and really see how impacting a one-on-one can be. It's truly where we can see the growth. It's also one of the best ways to avoid any catastrophes in your salon. So if you have got, it's a really, because you have the space to be able to give feedback, you have the space to be able to hear about challenges or things that they're struggling with and support them in a really private, intimate moment so that they can share really openly with you and you can connect and inspire them and support them with either getting through it, getting past it, or, something else really empowering. Getting through it, getting past it, or getting over it, to be honest.
That is incredible.
Getting through it, getting past it, getting over it. But what this doing, this is, I feel like the biggest thing, or the first thing when we start working with salon owners and they start marking out one-on-ones, and we'll follow up, we'll hold them accountable. Like, how'd you go with, you had Sarah's one-on-one this week. Oh, no, I had to move that because we had a client, or, I've moved it to next week, or X, Y, and Z. The only way that our one-on-ones move is if a team member is sick on that day. Otherwise, it's
concrete. Nothing
it's
moves for
concrete.
them. Yeah.
And you need to start treating your meetings like they are a client, because I'm telling you, if you're prioritizing those meetings, the clients are absolutely moving around them and you are getting the incredible clients that you're wanting without having to push. And these meetings truly are where growth and self-led and freedom and flexibility and financial abundance all come from. There's a reason that we bang on and on and on about consistency with meetings.
Our salon would not be as successful as what it is without these meetings.
Absolutely.
If we didn't do these meetings for 3 months, I
would
think our
fall apart.
culture would suffer, our numbers would dramatically suffer, but also our productivity levels, even people's connection to the business would suffer.
Agree. So yes, make sure that you have your one-on-ones. My final one, this one's only one that we've done in the last few years, and I feel like it has just created such a great level of understanding between our team, and for team to really start learning how to support each other and communicate with each other and have that connectivity has come from these things. Do you know what I'm going to say?
What is it? I'm trying to work it out.
I have said
Team culture
do
days?
a love language quiz or a get to know each other quiz
personality
and
test.
share your results.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what it is. You can do there's a generic, the love languages, and share your love languages because we're not all built the same. So my love language, for example, is words of affirmation. Mick, my partner's, is physical touch. We have very opposing love languages. So for him, he'll be like, come and hold my hand. I'm like, well, tell me I'm hot. And he will, and then I will. And this is one of the things, because if I go up to him and say, I love you so much, you're so amazing, you make my world whole, quite often he'll go, thanks, and continue on. Whereas if I go and give him a kiss and a cuddle or a bit of a wink, he'll be very responsive to that. And vice versa. If I'm doing that, come home and he wants to love on me, and I'm like, back up, I've had enough. For him, if he comes in and goes, how was your day? It sounds like you've moved mountains today. Let me get you a glass of wine and a steak and put your feet up and don't you move a muscle. I will respond differently to him. And this is something that we see such transformations within team and understanding connection, is learning that we're not all the same, and the way that we need to receive feedback or show our appreciation or what's really important to us as individuals, this is where we can really understand each other really well with that.
Even just thinking about how, obviously we bang on about the personality tests that we do with our clients, team members, so that we can understand them better and so that the salon owner can understand what motivates them, how to give them feedback, how to communicate with them, what their love language is. Even just thinking about, for example, with our 2 team members, with Jazzy and with Tay, 2 totally different personality types. I know that every time I see Jazz, I need to give her a hug.
Yeah.
And that's really, really important to her. I need to give her a hug and I need to look her in the eye and really connect with her. I know that with Tay, every time I see her, I need to support her with words of affirmation. She needs to hear what an incredible job she's doing. And the days that I don't do that, I have to actively really work on talking to the team in their specific love language.
Absolutely.
Love,
so they were my ins. I did have a little speech around it all. I put at the bottom of the love language and personality test. This will give you a blueprint into how to show gratitude to your team and also for them to support you in the ways that you need.
Yes.
This is massive for growth, understanding, compassion, really learning that we aren't all the same and learn how we can connect to each other better.
Love.
That was they're my 5 ins. So we've got, to recap, meetings done in work time, conscious leadership with appropriate people that are involved.
No husbands.
Debriefing your numbers with your team every week, having one-on-ones, do a personality quiz, love language, doesn't matter. Do something together with your team where you get to know each other more, and not from a sense of like, what's your favorite color? How do you like to receive feedback? How can I best support you?
I love that.
What do you got?
All right, cool. My outs of 2026. This is the shit that you guys are leaving behind.
Okay.
1, stop running your salon from your head. I know. So I didn't even realize this wasn't a thing. We have always had the mentality, we've always treated our salon, even when it was just me and Tess and we had like 5 clients in total, not that day.
6 if we're including mum.
We always ran our salon as if it was going to be, or if it was like literally a franchise business.
Yeah.
We started that from day one. I don't know where we got that from. I had worked at Boost Juice for like 5 minutes, but I remember their onboarding process was so thorough and so digital. And I remember seeing that and being like, oh, there's no reason that we can't bring this into our business. And from that day, we wrote protocols, policies, procedures. Like we were obsessed with digitizing and I guess automating our business as much as possible. And so many salons don't have this. So my biggest out is not running your salon from your head. That is going. We are leaving that behind, because what it does is it leaves you vulnerable in the business. You are the key person in that business, and you suddenly have key person risk where you can't leave the business for a holiday, for a sick day. You know, I often think about some of our clients who have given birth to premature babies. I often think about, because we've had quite a few people in our world who that's been their reality. Like they've had babies at 7 months, 6 months pregnant, as opposed to waiting the full term. And as if they had a choice, you know, going early and having their whole world and their whole business flipped on its head overnight. Something that they could never foresee coming.
Exactly. Yeah.
Something that they would have never been prepared for. And I often think about that. Like I think about Pete when he broke his leg. My boyfriend broke his leg a couple of years ago, and his leg was broken for 18 months. 18 months he couldn't walk properly. It was like this freak accident. And he couldn't work for 18 months. And I think about
freak
that.
Accident is he fell off a retaining wall. People are going to think he like flew off a motorbike or something. He actually fell from like 30 centimetre height. Like it actually wasn't.
I know.
It was a freak injury.
Whatever. Freaky dude with a freak injury.
But I think he like bungee jumped and the rope broke or something.
No. But so like freak accident, that's what I'm trying to say. Freak accident, terrible injury, basically broke both of the bones in the legs, you know.
Just ask him, he'll tell you.
My point is that he couldn't work for 18 months. And back when we were on the floor, I look at that and I'm like, what if that was us? What would we have done? Our business relied so heavily on us in those days.
Do you know anything though, even when you're saying that, I feel like we started systemizing things because we would often say, we're going to do this so that if one of us isn't here,
if one of us got hit by a bus is what we used to say. If one of us got hit by a bus, you need to know how to do payroll. If one of us got hit by a bus, you need to know how to speak to a team member. It was really designed
for me to begin.
No, it wasn't. Do you know how many blueprints and all the phrases that you've helped me with leadership?
Yeah.
Mate, I could never have done that. And if you got hit by a bus,
but I wouldn't be able to pay our team. So like that's really
we wouldn't have a team because I wouldn't know how to speak to them. I'd be like, help me. But I
that's
think
a good one. Yes.
Yeah.
But I also think it's, if you are running it from your brain, think of it like human beings can only retain 20% of what was like. You walk out of this now, we're going to remember 20%. And that's if we're listening really, really well. 20% of what's been said. So if you are running it from your brain, how much are you falling out? Like how much is dropping away? Like all the goodness is not going to be there.
Agree.
I love that. It's a great one.
So yeah, stop running your salon from your head. You need a structure in place. You need systemization. If you can't be fucked to do it or you don't have time to do it, you're going to go immediately, pause this episode and go. Don't even worry about the last 4 outs because that's your most important thing. You're going to go and get into the conscious structure. The conscious structure is literally our blueprint. It gives you a plug and play back-end system with every system, every checklist, every protocol already pre-written for you. Just go in and change the name and change anything that you want to. It's done for you. There's like 200 or 300 policies or something in there. It's wild. But you need like a digital searchable, you know, if you want to build one out yourself, digital searchable, easy resource that can be updated with all of your protocols and checklists. No more running Salon from head.
Love that.
Number 2, avoiding hard conversations.
Wow. So we were
Similar.
Yeah.
Yes. Avoiding hard
Interesting.
conversations. We're
Yeah.
just not doing that. We're going to take a nice big deep breath in and we're going to deal with the conversations that need to be dealt with. You're going to take a nice big deep breath. You're not going to spiral and create a story or a narrative that isn't there, because we all love to do that. We're not going to do that. We're just going to sit down and actually have the conversation that needs to be had.
Love that.
Out number 3, not honouring your cancellation policies.
Yes.
Number 1 question we ask Salon owners, do you have a cancellation policy? And people always look at us like we've got 2 heads, like, yeah, cool. Do you actually implement it? Do you honour it? Do you charge people when they cancel last minute? Do you charge people when they no-show? Do you have that conversation when a client tries to rebook? No, we don't. I reckon most salon owners are like, no, it's a real weakness. Or, you know, we say, oh, so sorry, your child's got gastro, I'll allow that, but I won't allow the sniffles that, you know, Marianne has. This is so blurry. Absolutely. We just need to honour the cancellation policies and the salon policies. If you guys have a no children policy and someone rocks up with a child, have that conversation.
I love that. Also,
Next
if
one.
you get stuck, I'm just going to say we have done an episode on this.
What?
So we have done the how to honour your cancellation policies.
Great.
We've done
Search
around,
that.
Cancellation policies. Search cancellation policies. Conscious
I think
Salon
we've done
podcast.
a few episodes. It's really good. And if
It
you
literally gives phrasing in it. So
Yes.
go and
That was
listen.
a
If
good
it's
episode.
uncomfortable for you or you really struggle with this, go and listen to that episode. I promise you'll feel
God, this podcast
empowered.
is so valuable, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And if your team need help, send the potty to them.
Absolutely.
Okay, the next one, keeping team members that are unaligned. That's a big one.
We just had this actually pop up on our first backs call, didn't we? Of one of the girls in there sharing how much of a lesson that was for her of really keeping unaligned teams. She knew they weren't aligned but kept trying to make them aligned. And then the chat just went berserk of like seeing you in this, like been there, and everyone was like, yes, me.
It was like ding, 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 ding. Everyone was like, yes, me. I've done that.
So
I've done that.
true. And we do it all the time. We always the people pleaser comes out and wants to believe that we can. I love that. So
I feel like, again, we're one of the only industries that's like, we will continue to go square peg, round hole. Square peg, round hole. My body's rejecting this theory. Square peg, round hole. Like, we're one of the only industries that will actually put up with things for such a long period of time, rather than just calling it and being like, you know what, my gut instinct is just this person doesn't belong here.
Yeah. And I always ask the question, is this because we are people pleasers, or is it because we desperately like don't want to like give up? We constantly want to like keep going with something. I feel like
I think you don't want to feel like you've let people down or you've wasted time. Like, so many different things. Our industry is so performative. It's so public when someone leaves. Like, there's so many different things. But there's just that little piece of all of us. It's like, I want to be liked. I want to do this right. I want to do this well.
That's a great one.
Final out is this year in 2026, every salon owner that's listening to this podcast is going to eliminate shoulder taps.
Oof.
We talk about this so much. If you are the emergency contact for every single tiny little problem in your business, we have a huge issue. Huge. So if you can't go on a holiday without being contacted, if you can't drop your kids off to school without being contacted, if you are dealing with every client complaint, every shoulder tap, every single team member looks to you for direction, we have a problem. So this year in 2026, every single move that you make with your business, I want you to think about, what is one way I can reduce or remove shoulder taps?
I love that. So good. Oh my goodness.
There we go. We've just solved the whole industry's problems in 20 minutes, but There's your
That's
ins and
good.
outs for 2026
Ins
for
and
becoming
outs.
conscious salon owners.
That's right.
Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the Conscious Salon podcast.
That's great. Love you guys. Stay conscious.